And we're back with another edition of Let's Play. I'm your host, the RPG Guy, and today we're going to play Final Fantasy V. Well, there's 5 crystals. Okay, fine, it's Mystic Quest. I figure that if the sooner I get this one done, the sooner I'll never have to do it again. Some history about Final Fantasy Mystic Quest is as follows. It came out soon after Final Fantasy IV in the US, which was Final Fantasy II at the time. And Final Fantasy Mystic Quest was... the intention of it was to draw non-RPG gamers into RPG games. It was a way of appeasing to everybody. And in a sense, it appeased to nobody. Final Fantasy was highly rated and very successful, and most of us know this. Or Final Fantasy IV, rather. And Final Fantasy IV did so well that it drove the people at Square-Enix kind of mad that Final Fantasy IV didn't have good sales in the US. It was such a highly rated game. Why did it not sell well? And their belief was that Americans were not capable of playing a very advanced RPG game like Final Fantasy IV. So they figured in all their infinite wisdom that they should create a Final Fantasy that is for everybody. Or better yet, a Final Fantasy that will appeal to the masses in America. So they made this watered down, overly simplified, bluntly easy RPG game. And to try to draw the weaker, unlikely, or the more unlikely people over. What they didn't realize is that the U.S. marketing for this game was given the royal treatment as if it were any other Final Fantasy game. So you had hardcore RPG fans picking this game up and being like, "What the hell is this? This is awful. This is shit." And so much like the route of Earthbound, where the marketing destroyed a lot of the integrity of the game sales. In this case, the marketing misled consumers to think this was a hardcore RPG game, and it wasn't. So, this is considered the dark horse of the Final Fantasy franchise, argued to be the worst of all the Final Fantasy games. As we play through it, we're going to find out if that's true or not, so let's get going. Did I just name my guy Fucker? I totally did. My village is gone. What on earth is going on? This place is going to sink any second. Let's climb up quickly. Fuck that guy. Press the B button and jump across. And then when I say that they mean easy, they meant to make this game format so easy that the character health bars are actual bars. They're not numbers. Because they figured numbers were too complicated. Yeah. Fucking weak. And then they didn't even commit to that. Look over there, that's the focus tower, once the heart of the world. An old prophecy says the full will steal the power and divide the world behind 4 doors. At that time, the night will appear, the prophecy has now come true. 4 monsters have locked the doors of the focus tower and escaped with the keys. They're draining the light from the 4 crystals of the earth, and the world is in chaos. The people are in desperate need of help. Fucker, only you can save the crystals and the world. So yes, guys, I am the RPG Guy, and we're playing Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Why? Yes, you fucker. Only you could be the night smoking of in the prophecy. Why am I submitting myself to this? Now, I will point out some cool things that do exist. The music in Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, there's not a lot of tracks, but the tracks aren't that bad. And damage over time, a visual perspective of damaging an enemy over time. So you'll notice in this fight, as we beat up this boss, hopefully. Let's see, you can see that there's battle damage. And no other Final Fantasy actually continued this. And as you can see, you can be killed, but we're not going to give up. And it happens. It's kind of luck. You have no real control. over what you can and cannot do. And then there's also the status effects and stuff as well. Like, there's status effects that turn your party, that can turn you or everyone, you know, turn independent characters to stone. When these things happen, there's no way to defend yourself against it, so you're, you know, at the mercy of it. And so when it happens, you're fucked. It's just lame. It really is.
Seems I was right. At last I found the true knight.
But you said you were sure I was the one, brah.
Well, actually, it was more of a guess.
Forget it. Just tell me where I can find the crystals.
It's up to you to find them. This place is becoming dangerous. Follow me to Level Forest.
And he's gone. Yeah, good question. Who is that guy? So anyway, so you anytime you die in this game, they'll restart the game for you. Let me customize here. I like the numbers. You can use the scale, but I prefer the numbers. At least they didn't fuck. Holy shit! At least they didn't fuck that up. Go with like a dark green or black. Yeah, I'll go with black. Alright, so you can change it to numbers, just as a heads up. You can totally do that, but... yeah.
There you are. What do you think I should do first?
Or what do you think I should do first?
Save the Crystal of Earth. See you.
Yeah, thanks for a lot of info there, bub. That boulder's blocking my way back to town. Would you shove it aside? Of course. Thank you. I want to go through this forest, find Kylie in Foresta, and show her this. And we get the withered tree, or the withered branch. So there's like not much to this game. There really isn't. It's a fitted overworld, which doesn't bother me that much. There are other things in games like this that bother me more. Grab this. Said if I was tired, I could sleep in her bed. Tastes like healing. And you can jump. Whoever said white men can't jump? Okay, they really can't, but that's not the point. No, so anyway, like I said, it's a very watered down game. The battle system has definitive flaws to it, where no matter what level you are, you could be max level, which in this game I don't know why you would try to obtain that. But you could be max level and still suffer from petrification. And both characters in your party, because you can never have a party more than 2 characters, you could be fully petrified and incapable of defending yourself. And this has always been kind of a big flaw when it comes to this particular game. I'm Kylie. There's a tree blocking the north exit of Level Forest. I can chop down the tree, but monsters have taken over the forest, and I can't get to it.
I can help you with that. Come on, let's go.
Don't you dare take Kylie anywhere dangerous. Listen, Mom. Don't be such a bitch. Hey, that tree wither looks awful. How much the trees must be suffering. Okay, you win. Don't worry, Mom. I'm armed with my tree destruction weapon, the axe. Okay, so we have our first weapon. Now, you can have characters fight automatically through auto attack. Auto attack, all it really does is they automatically do whatever they want to do, and I don't recommend it. A seasoned RPG gamer does not need both characters running on auto. Excuse me. Let me cut this with my axe. I don't like how she just destroys the forest. Now we're pretty low level, so we don't want to try to one-shot anything because it's not easy for us to do that. And we need to be careful because fucker can go down very quickly. If they all 3 enemies gang up on him next round, he's down.
Now, some of you might be doing a double take right now at something you saw just a second ago, and that's that little chest over there. Didn't you grab that chest when you first came in? Yes, I did. All brown chests recover. They respawn. That is not a joke. So in theory, if you really just want a shit ton of potions, you can just walk in and out of places over and over again to get those items back. I know that sounds silly. It is silly to a degree, but that's what happens, you know? Okay, so they're really ganging up on her, which is good. Because after this fight, fucker should level. There we go. Fucker levels up. Yay. Heal. And healing potions heal a preset amount of health. Just as a heads up for anybody wondering, it's not an actual numeric value. God damn it, why do you miss all the time, jackass? You punch me in the dick! Punch me in the dick! Like I said, there's nothing too innovative with the battle system. It is as watered down as it gets. It does implement an old Final Fantasy 1 kind of spell format, though, which is interesting. You can only cast a certain tier of spell so many times. For example, Cure Magic. We can only cast any white magic 3 times only. So we can cast 3 cures and then not be able to cast anything else of the light magic varietal. I believe that's how it works in this game, which is kind of a throwback to the old Final Fantasy games, which is kind of weird because you would think they're trying to prepare them for the new Final Fantasy games, or they were assuming that people would start from the beginning and try to pick up a copy of the OG Final Fantasy for Nintendo, but that's kind of a strange thing to try to attempt to do. Right, more potions. Potionne! But the battles are not anything interesting, at least not early on in the game. And enemies have weaknesses, much like they do in any Final Fantasy game. Right now, none of these enemies are weak to anything we can do, so there's not much to talk about in that regard. Other than that, we're just beating them up, trying to fight our way through. And try to get all the bonus goodies while we're out here. Kinda did that ass backwards, didn't I? Yeah, it still works. Still works, so whatever. One more chest to grab, guys. And then we'll be good. Nice. Nice. And the reason we're putting this much effort into killing all these dudes off is we do want to get enough XP for fucker, and we do want to get enough healing items too, because healing items are pretty important. Early on. As the game progresses, they start to lose their value. You start to have enough white magic that you don't really care so much. So, we'll worry about that then. This is the evil tree I was talking about. Whack! Dear God, it's a pig monster in a bikini! Ah!
You poisoned me just as he did this to the trees. Ah!
And yet she's still healthy enough to help me kick this dude's ass as we fight a Minotaur. Again, just the average good old-fashioned beatdown is all this dude needs. If you need to heal, I'd just use a potion or use a heal spell. Either works. A heal spell is probably better. So, like, we'll use a heal spell on fucker because we don't want his life to go below 50. Which, when we go rest back in town, will be recovered. Alright, let's see.
Yeah, just because of that right there. At least we'll be full health going into the next... almost full health. Alright, let's attack.
Now you get it, cowie.
I know, that was pretty lame.
Now you're gonna die, you minotaur son of a bitch. I will eat your babies.
There we go. No level up, though. As soon as I take Elixir, that's in the Sand Temple.
Don't worry, I'll get it, bro.
And take this axe with you.
And we receive the axe.
I'll be back.
And we're on our own, which is fine, but now we have the axe. So this is an important aspect of this game, is that you can pick up weaponry. The hero himself has 4 different weapon types. I'm not going to say what they all are right now. I'll tell you later. But the different weapons, different enemies have different weaknesses, and that could be based on what weapon they have equipped. Right now in the forest, though, that's not going to be relevant. They're all weak to the same stuff, so I'm not too worried about that. As yes, I'm picking an unnecessary fight, but hey, it's XP. We're also going to go back to town and recuperate as well after this. This is the last enemy in the entire forest. The problem is he's missing a lot with the axe. I'm going to put the sword back on, I think. There we go. See, much more accurate. Die. There we go. And fucker levels up. Yay. Alright. So, let's make our way over here. And grab the last chest. As it be 3 more potions. Back to town. Not just for free shit, but for other things. So we're gonna get some free items. Because, like I said, the brown chest respawn. 3 potions.
Potion.
There we go. We'll grab some potions now that we have the axe. Because we couldn't get to it before. Excuse me. Let's rest in here. Especially because the next dungeon there's an enemy that likes to fire poison out a lot. So having a lot of healing, keep pressing the wrong button there. Having a lot of healing potions is a good idea. Not necessarily health potions, but the big golden healing potions. I want to make sure I did grab this because I do have heal, but did I grab it? Of course I can't see it from here. I could have sworn I got it, but just to make sure. Yeah, I totally got it. So, sorry, I was just responding to that, just so that way it doesn't bug us any further. Anywho, now that's all done. Let's keep moving. And I'm gonna go back into level forest to pick up more healing potions. Having about 9 to 12 of them is probably pretty good, because you are going to get fucked with that much in that next dungeon. And that's really all we need, but since it's here, and we don't have to fight anything to get it, we're going to grab 2 other chests, too. Like so. There's nothing wrong with having a stockpile of potions. Nothing wrong with it, especially, like I said, early in the game. 22, so, and 9, that's fine. So we're gonna skip this battlefield, and I'll talk about battlefields in a moment. Let's go to the Sand Temple. I am gonna do all of them, for those of you pondering. pondering. I will do them all.
The fuck?
Sounds like the theme from Pilot Wings. Looking for some cure, kid? First of all, my name is Fucker, and I'm looking for the elixir. I'll sell you some for, let's say, 9,000 gold pieces. Well, what'd you say? Well, that's way too much, brah. Listen, kid, this stuff is precious, right? My allowance is only two guys. Oh my god. I'm not even gonna dignify that by saying it. Then let's do it this way. I'm going to the bone dungeon to find treasure. You come with me and help. If I get the treasure, you get the elixir. Do we have any choice? When do we go? There's a battlefield nearby. Why don't you whack a few monsters there and maybe win something, kid? The name's Fucker. And Tristram joined. Yay. So Tristram is with us. He's obviously much stronger than we are via leveling. And now let's talk about battlefields. Every battlefield has 10 battles in it. You are rewarded for completing these battles. Sometimes you get a rare item or an exclusive item. Sometimes you get XP at the end. So fighting these all the way down to completion is relevant and is necessary. And for this episode only, I'm going to actually show you guys the results, because one of these actually gives us an item and the other one gives us just bonus XP. And none of the fights are necessarily maliciously hard, but you'll notice Tristram is fighting the frogs because the frogs are weak against projectile attacks, and Fucker is going after the tree because the trees are weak against the axe. So there, again, nothing too out there. Alright, another one down. Alright. Damn it. Put us in a full Nelson. Come on, guys, hit him. Thank you. 5 more to go. Yeah, this is pretty annoying, but what it's trying to do is it's trying to reward players for grinding between dungeons. It's literally what these are for. So instead of overworld battles, they condensed all the overworld battles they usually expect most players to do into these battlefields. So I guess if you've never played in a legit old school RPG before, this is the perfect training for that. I really believe that. This is some ye olde good training. And there we go. So we got extra XP for that fight. Sorry I'm not saying much, there's nothing to say. But yeah, we got extra XP, which was enough to help Fucker level. The biggest threat here are the poison frogs, but I don't think Fucker can one-shot them, so I'm not even going to bother. The poison frogs can cause the poison status effect, which does carry between fights. So we don't really want that. So another one of these. And this is going to be something that's thematically constantly, cycled through this game. It's just something that's going to keep going on and on and on and on and on. There is no way around this. And this is why we stocked up heavily on those potions, number one. And number two, it'll be worth trekking all the way back to Foresta to not just get more recovery items, but not, you know, to get some free healing as well. Not that it's necessary, we could just use items because we're just going to refill that anyway, but I'd rather, you know, try to tackle this like a, you know, a crit, which I'm totally not doing very well. But that's the thing, is you don't have to do it very well to do well. Let me see if you can actually kill one of these dudes since we got first strike. Well, he got a critical, so obviously he will kill it. So he might actually be able to kill the toad creatures on his own. So I'll probably look into that more. Alright. Like I said, in the future, guys, I will not really involve you guys with these fights so much. I'll show you like 1 or 2 fights of a group of 10. So you can see the kind of enemies that are in here, and then that'll give you an idea if you're really trying to keep track of that. But I'm not going to show you everything, but I will usually bring you in maybe for the last fight, so you can see what we get as a reward. That might even be a better option too. Just so you can see what you know, is the big reward for all of it. That's probably the bigger interest, because like I said, there is some really good stuff that can be won from these fights, so. 4 more to go. God, it seems like it's taking forever. And we're gonna get some more antidotes, as far as I'm concerned. Trying to hold out as long as I can. But we're not going to make it so as is, so let's just use a cure there. But I'm not going to waste an item. No, sorry, no reason to do that. Alright, almost there, guys. Almost there. So close, yet so far. And you don't want to be too full of items, too, because I like to 100% clear out dungeons, but then again, it doesn't really matter, so I don't know why I'm worrying about that. It really doesn't. Alright, 1 more to go. Fucker levels up, and we cleaned them out, and we get the charm. Yay. So the charm has a defense power of 1, and we start with the steel armor, yay. So that's one of the reasons right there to tackle it, because you get that one-of-a-kind item. You can't buy it in a store. There's not really that. There really isn't stores in the way that you're thinking. That in the way that regular RPG games are. They did a lot to remove as much as possible from the player's responsibility list. So as far as what there is to do and what we need as players to do, there isn't much. So keeping that in mind, it's like, this is how you get gear, as you find them. And yes, there is money in the game, and later there are merchants, but the merchants are kind of insignificant. And all you're really doing is saving up for the one-of-a-kind items. That's really all you're doing. Or saving up for items that you don't have as much of, like healing potions probably, and stuff along those lines. But as you can see, we're level 6 right now, and we still haven't had the bone dungeon yet. So we're doing pretty well right now. I mean, there's nothing that's a threat to us. At least not yet. And this is, like I said, your goal in the early stages of the game is to fight everything. As you get further and further into the game, the need to fight all the enemies is more or less not relevant. And you'll notice that that goes on an incline. But I would say for the earliest stages of the game, fighting every enemy in view at least once is key. It needs to be done. just because this is the easiest way to get through this game pretty without much, without much difficulty. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for stopping by, and when we come back, we'll be tackling the Bone Dungeon, I think it's called, and we'll be tackling our first in-game boss fight. The Behemoth doesn't count, because that's just, it's quasi-scripted. You can lose it because the game isn't designed really well, so you can actually lose that fight, but it's not really relevant, so... This time it is relevant. This time the boss can wipe your whole party, if you're not paying attention, and so on and so forth. And there's going to be a lot of battles, and this is where I'm going to start skipping some of them, so you guys don't have to sit through all the freaking fights that are in this game. So we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please take a moment to check out more episodes from the RPG Guy, Tuesday Night Team Up, and more. And please subscribe. Always support the channels you enjoy watching, and while you're at it, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. Keep on gaming hard. See you next time.